You know, it's really hard for us to get right what happened yesterday, and every time we try to predict the future, we're probably wrong more often than we're right. I fear for the future of our democracy. I just hope that there are ways to stop this sort of slide. I don't know if there are. But I try to find reasons to be optimistic. And, you know, just to be here and to talk to people like you about what you do and how hard it is for you to do it and how committed you are to it. I mean, we don't have reporters in the United States who have the kind of guts that you have, because we don't normally face those kinds of challenges, you know? And so I just, as bad as you think things are here, when I listen, I'm encouraged by what I've learned here. I mean, there's an awful lot to admire about what Romanian journalists do. In the year 2000, when George W. Bush was running for president against Al Gore, I did investigative reporting on that presidential campaign. And I had all sorts of people angry at me. I had Gore angry at me. I had John McCain angry at me. And I had Bush angry at me. Now, Bush, during the Vietnam War, avoided going to Vietnam because his father helped him get into the Texas Air National Guard. I was particularly interested in this because I was not in the Texas Air National Guard. I was in Vietnam. So I got no favors. But I went and and everybody had written about how his father got him into the Guard. And it happened all over the country. People with influence were able to avoid Vietnam because they got into the National Guard. But what I was interested in was, what did he do once he was in the Guard? So I got his actual records, which are not public, but they had produced as part of a lawsuit. And it was 160 pages. And since I had been in the military, I could translate them into English. And I wrote a story in the Boston Globe about how Bush, for over a year, didn't even show up for his Guard duty. And for anyone else, that would have meant that they would immediately go on active duty and get sent to Vietnam. But not him, he got away with it. And I did that story, and the Globe ran it, and it was before the internet, and nobody noticed. And it didn't become an issue until 2004 when John Kerry ran against Bush. But to sort of then fast forward 2 years, we published the church stories and they went viral. And we had we were as surprised as anyone because we didn't understand that it was possible for people all over the world to read our stories. So that had a big impact, and I think probably in a way that there was no downside. So if you think, and I would think, well, social media, if we published it now, it would get much, much more attention. But it also would be subject to much more reinterpretation by people with different viewpoints, by people who favor the church, by people who could question our backgrounds, by people who, so a big cloud could be spread over everything we reported, and that happens, as you know now.